Alright, welcome to the third Death Note vlog in which I watch anime for the first time. I actually really like it. I love the animation, but that's not what we're here to talk about, okay? We are here to talk about the book Death Note. Alright? If you have not seen my first and second vlogs of Death Note, then I highly recommend that you do go and watch those because I will just be picking up right where I left off. I am a few chapters into the 7th book of Death Note, so we have a lot to talk about because, wow. So they caught this new Kira, right? Or as the anime says it, Kira? Kira? I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce his name. They caught this new guy, and they cornered him, and they found his Death Note. So now every single agent that touches it is able to see Rem, the Death God. So now, when L touches it, he's like, whoa, a Shinigami. They're actually real. That's not even the best part, okay? When Light touches the notebook, not only can he see the Shinigami, but now he remembers everything about his Death Note, about how Misha used to have a Death Note. He remembers it all. So now he's like, I remember my plan. And then it goes into his whole elaborate plan and how basically everything that was supposed to happen ended up happening. And so now he's like, wow, I'm on top of this. I'm safe. This is going great. And I'm just like, my brain is exploding. But if he lets go of the notebook, he loses all those memories because the only way for him to actually remember was to actually obtain the Death Note for himself again. So when he gets the Death Note, he freaking writes down the dude's name. I forget his name, this new Kira, but he writes his name, so he dies, and now basically Light has a Death Note again. I'm just so confused because I'm like, if you wanted to do that, why didn't you just stay and keep the notebook? I don't know anymore. I don't know how much more you can do with this, but obviously there's lots more. Elle is dead. And Miranda is no longer mentally sane. Who let this happen? Because I didn't. I am so upset right now. Elle died. My favorite character in the book. Is there any point in reading the rest of this series? Let me just ask you right now, because I don't think so. Light, man. Light is starting to get on my nerves. Here's the thing with Light, okay? Light thinks his way is the best way always, right? So he's like, anybody who crosses me, anybody who gets in my way, yeah, they're dying. But Light, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you don't always have to be right? What? If he heard me say that, he'd kill me right now. What's the point of all of this? What is the point of you killing all of these people just so you could have your way and your plan can work out? One thing goes wrong and the whole world ends, apparently. But no, guess what? Life moves on. But not for me, because Elle's dead. I just need sleep. Let me just say, this quarantine has got my sleep schedule so messed up. Like, I freaking wake up at 11 and sometimes 12 nowadays. Anyway, I'm doing my hair because what else do I have to do? I literally don't think I've ever been more upset over a character dying in my entire life than when Elle died. And I'm being super legit with you right now. I can already tell that Elle is going to be replaced because there's these two people that are supposedly super smart also. One is named Near and one is named Mello. And actually Near looks just like Elle. So I'm thinking, like, he just looks like a younger version of Elle, and he has blonde hair. But besides that, he is so, like, his face looks so similar. He sits the exact same way Elle does. So I'm guessing that there's some kind of family relationship between the two. This head general dude, the head of the orphanage or whatever, because Near and Mello are at an orphanage, he tells them that Elle dies, and they get all upset because they're like, what? He promised us that Kira would be dead, but now he's dead. What's going on? They kind of have a freak out moment, you know? Kind of like me, except toned down a lot. And he's kind of like, well, he was supposed to tell us which one of you would replace him and be his successor, basically. But he never got to tell them, so now he's kind of like, well, you two can work together. But then Mello's all like, no, Near can be his replacement, I don't care. But I'm pretty sure she's gonna just go off and try to solve it on her own. Almost like have a rivalry between Near and Mello now. So basically this story just keeps on giving us more and more conflicts between characters, more and more people going head to head. Like, I don't know. At some point I'm gonna lose track of who's who and who's doing what. Like, honestly, there's so much going on right now. I've heard lots of rumors that the storyline kind of goes downhill after Elle dies, so I'm kind of nervous to see what happens, but the only way I can tell is by reading it. So I guess we'll find out together. All right. It's about time I updated you. So I finished book 7 and I'm actually halfway through book 8. So basically what went down is Mello, this girl. Editing Miranda here, Mello is actually a guy. This is what I get for assuming gender. Makes this super elaborate plan, and she actually has her own team of these like super buff, really serious, kind of intimidating looking guys, and they're all helping her, and she's basically trying to catch Kira, except she's doing it without Near's knowledge. Near actually contacts Light, okay, because Light basically takes on the new role as Elle, but Near calls him and is like, so, hi Elle, this is the real Elle. But he calls himself N, okay, get it? N, Near, Light, Elle, whatever. I see what they did there. Basically, Near kind of is saying, listen, you are trying to track down Kira, so am I. We should probably work together. Then, in the midst of all this, Light's dad gets a phone call from someone random, it's untrackable or whatever, and the person on the other end says that they have his daughter and he has to bring them the death note. This caller knew that the notebook is now in the hands of the police, the Japanese police, so, which is true, Light's father now has it, because even though it's technically Light's, he gave it to the police because it's evidence. You know how all that goes down. So, in order to have leverage and in order to make the police give them, this mysterious group, the notebook, they kidnapped his daughter, aka Light's sister, Sayu, that's her name. And now they're forced to make this trade. Turns out that the people who actually kidnapped Sayu is the group that is working for Mello. Of course, Near doesn't know this, neither does Light, so they're kind of forced to actually do this trade because they do want Sayu back, and they say that no one will get killed as long as they give them the notebook, so that's what they end up doing. They have to be flown to this mysterious place in California, and they make the trade-off. And it's kind of cool because Near and Light work together throughout it. So two teams, they're working together even though they're supposedly enemies, because N is all like, I want to find out who you are, Elle, because it's bugging me, or whatever the heck that is going on. Mello sucks, but I kind of like Near. He's growing on me. I think it's just because he's so small and like he reminds me so much of Elle. Like if they're not related, that is gonna bug me so much because they look so much alike and they act so much alike and they're so smart. They both are so smart. They think the same way. So I'm waiting for that reveal, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Hey y'all, so I finished the 8th book and I'm on to the 9th book. I'm kind of upset because like nothing has happened. Like I feel like I don't really need to update you on anything. The 8th book definitely was the slowest book out of all of them so far. It was my least favorite book out of them all so far. I think it's just because ever since Elle died, even though now we have so many different people trying to catch Kira, it's all just kind of confusing. It all kind of seems a bit pointless to me. I have to admit, Mello is pretty freaking smart. I hated him at first just because he's very cocky and he's very much in everybody else's faces like, ha, I got this, I got that, I got this before you. But I have to admit, he is so smart, and I'm kind of starting to like him as a character. Did I really say that? Yikes. Besides that, like, literally nothing has happened. So, yeah. Alright, fellas. I finished the 9th book. So, something actually did happen. Surprise. Light's dad, the chief of police, has died. He died trying to get the notebook back from Mello, and he was in the hospital, and literally, Light, he's like, oh, Dad, I'm so sorry. But then he's like, please write Mello's real name in the notebook so he can die. And like, your dad is dying, and you're making him use his last few moments to write someone's name down. How about you use this time to have a heart-to-heart with your father, instead of just forcing him to write a name down? Light is getting on my nerves. So anyway, more on what has happened. This is kind of crazy. So Nier basically figured out that Elle is Kira. Elle and Kira, same person. He figured it out, he's on to Light. But of course he hasn't seen his face yet, so like he doesn't really know his real name or anything like that. So Light is still safe for now, but Nier, that kid, man, he's so smart, and he figured it out. And Mello actually pays Nier a visit. He threatens somebody with a gun in order to get into the building, but you know, he's still visiting Nier, you know what I mean? There is a little tiny bug in here, and I don't know what he is. He's not a mosquito. Oh, are you? He might be a mosquito. I don't know where he went. So anyway, they're chatting. Nier basically confides in Mello and is like, so I think I found out that Elle and Kira are the same person, and this is why. And he goes into his super long rant, super smart rant that I literally would never be able to keep up with. Mello is kind of like, okay, prove it. So he actually calls one of the agents that Light is working with, and he's like, okay, don't tell anybody about this. I want you to pay me a visit. But of course everybody else is listening in, right? So Light is listening in on it. But so this dude, he's like, oh, okay, where do I need to go? So then Mello gives him directions. It's like 5 minutes away or whatever. And so he's walking over, he gets to this building, he gets in. Basically, Mello led this guy to Nier's hideout. So then Nier starts talking to him, but of course this dude, this agent, isn't going to give away anything about Light, anything about Elle. Now they have leverage because they have one of the agents. So it's kind of going crazy. I'm excited to see where this goes though, because it is starting to pick up again, which I'm enjoying. I like that fast-paced, you don't really know what's going on, but like at the same time I kind of can grasp everything. And it hasn't been like that for the past couple books, but this one was pretty good. So I'm excited, can't wait for the last part of this series. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will see you next time. Bye!